Warning spoilers ahead, the following is a recap of the movie Fall. Three friends were climbing the side of a mountain. Becky, her husband Dan, and their friend Hunter. Everything was going fine until Dan comes across a hole in the cliff. A bird flies out, making him lose his grip. Things quickly turn to disaster as Dan tries his best to get a grip on the cliff, but fails and falls to his death. Time passes, but Becky is still in a deep hole after the death of Dan. James, her father, finds her in a bar drinking and tries to console her, saying that Dan wasn't that perfect as she thought and she should just keep going with her life. Becky gets mad at him for saying that and asks him to leave her alone. Back at her house, the girl keeps calling her husband, refusing to believe he was dead. The girl has a breakdown and is about to put an end to her pain. Suddenly, her phone starts ringing and she sees that it was her friend Hunter. Later, she is visited by the girl. After catching up, she told her that she was asked by her father, who was worried about her. She then proposes that they do something to make her get over her trauma. Then shows her a TV tower somewhere, saying that they should climb it and scatter Dan's ashes once on the top. After thinking about it, the next day, Becky accepts the challenge and the two were on their way to the TV tower. On their way, Becky goes through Hunter's phone, where she sees old videos and asks the girl about a photo where she seemed to be with someone, asking if she had a secret boyfriend, but the girl refuses to answer. Becky, who sees her father calling, ignores the man. Hunter turns out to be a YouTuber by the name of Danger D. The two girls ask about the tower and were shown through the window a distant light in the sky. Becky is shocked at how high the tower was, and Hunter told her that it was once the tallest structure in the US and that they are going to tear it down soon since it's out of commission. Becky, who was trying to charge her phone, is shown a trick by her friend. When sleeping, Becky has a dream of a memory of her and Dan, where the man uses the code 143 to tell her that he loves her. The girl then sees blood on her and freaks out before waking up. After getting ready, the girls then get in the car and head to the tower. After coming across a locked gate, they had to leave the car and continue on foot. On the way, they see some vultures feeding on a corpse of a small deer. Soon they were standing near the 2,000 feet high tower. Becky feels fear creeping up on her and tells her friend that she can't do it. Hunter shares with her how she was the same after the accident, telling her that the only way is to push through it. After regaining her composure, the two girls begin their climb to the top of the old rusty tower. Becky feels the metal shaking under her hands as parts of the structures were falling out. As they got higher, they were able to see the motel where they were staying last night, small and distant. After reaching the first platform, Hunter says that there were only 200 feet left to the top. Becky was very scared as she starts to climb the ladder that was now exposed. The girl was now feeling every slight shaking and tries to sing a song to get over her fear, but couldn't. She asked her friend to go back down, but Hunter refuses, saying she shouldn't let her fear win. The girls slide through the big antennas and keep climbing. They then finally reach the top, but fail to notice the bolts that came out when getting there, just happy to have achieved their goal. The two film their achievement with the drone and they take some crazy shots while hanging from the ledge. Soon they take out Dan's ashes and scatters them in the wind. The two girls were now ready to go back down. The girls then get ready and Becky goes first. She slowly dangles down and holds to the ladder and begins climbing down. Suddenly she feels a strong shaking and the ladder begins to fall apart. Becky holds tight as the ladder comes off and she starts to fall, almost pulling Hunter with her. Becky was now dangling by the rope as Hunter puts her full strength into pulling the girl back up. The two have a hysterical laughter, but soon were shocked to see that the ladder was gone and also their backpack was now lying on the antennas. Becky checks her phone but sees no signal and begins to freak out. Hunter tells her that they needed to stay calm. The two look around and find a box with binoculars and a flare gun. Becky says that all their water was in the backpack and is scared they would die of thirst. Hunter says there was no way no one heard all the noise that they made. Becky, who was in shock, didn't even notice she was hurt. Hunter helps her and they both sit down waiting for help to come. A while passes Hunter checks the surrounding with the binoculars and sees an abandoned RV. The girl then has a sudden idea. She remembers having an internet when they were at the base and says that they should send a message and get the phone down. They immediately put the idea into action. After writing a message, they lower the phone with a rope. Hunter, who couldn't hear any notification sound, hangs from the platform to get the phone even lower, but still nothing. Becky proposes to throw the phone down, and the two then put it inside Hunter's shoe, then dropped it. They then waited and hoped for the best as the vultures start flying around them. While Hunter kept watch, Becky notices the tattoo on the girl's foot that says 143. Suddenly the girl screams, saying she saw someone. At the base there was a man with a dog. The dog found the phone, but the man didn't notice and was leaving. The girls start screaming and throwing their shoes, but the man walks away to the RV. Becky was about to shoot the flare gun when her friends said to wait until night. When night comes, Hunter was keeping an eye on the two guys in the RV while Becky was watching a video of her wedding where she notices that her friend was watching her, and then with a sad expression. Hunter sees the two men were leaving and they decide to shoot the flare gun. After noticing the signal, the two men saw the girl on the top of the tower calling for help. The girls were happy to see them drive into the gate, only to see them steal their car and leave. Later, the two start to fall asleep and Hunter almost fell from the platform, if not for her friend. While she was checking on her wound, Becky confronts her friend about the tattoo, saying that it was the way Dan said I love you. She then learns that the two were having an affair for 4 months. Hunter then asks for forgiveness, saying that she put an end to it after a long silence. Becky says that it has been a day already and no help had come, meaning the message didn't go through. Hunter says they should try throw her phone, but Becky tells her that they had no more padding to cushion the fall. They then decide to retrieve the bag. Hunter volunteers and dangles down to get the bag, but the rope was too short. The girl unhooks herself and begins to swing, then jumps and lands on the antennas. After retrieving the bag, the girl uses the selfie stick to attach it to the rope. Then she jumps and holds onto it. Then she starts climbing. When almost there, the girl slips and falls. Becky looks down worried, but she sees the girl was fine and was holding onto the bag. Becky then starts pulling her friend up to safety. After drinking some water, the two write down a message on a piece of paper and attached it to the drone that they sent flying toward the motel. But the machine didn't go far before it was almost out of charge and they had to bring it back. During the night, Becky wakes up to find her friend missing. She screams and looks around and she's suddenly attacked by the vultures. Then she sees the corpse of her friend dead, getting eaten by the birds. Becky then wakes up from what was but a nightmare to find her friend awake. She then looks at the light bulb and has an idea. She wants to try the trick that Hunter showed her back in the diner before. Becky grabs the drone and starts climbing the pole. Once on the top, she removes the light bulb and plugs the charger. The girl then does her best to stay hanging while being under the heat of the sun and constantly getting attacked by the vultures. Soon the drone is fully charged and the girl quickly gets down. When seeing the photo of her dad, the girl is sad, saying that he knew about Dan all along and wanted to help her. She then again sends the drone flying. After crossing the long distance, the machine is almost at the motel when it suddenly crashes into the truck. Becky is devastated and loses all hope. Evening comes and they see a storm is heading toward them while the vultures flies around waiting for the food to be served. Becky asks Hunter to give her shoe she was wearing, but the girl answers she can't, saying that the shoe is down there. Becky, who was under the shock all this time, couldn't handle the fact that her friend slipped and fell to her death when retrieving the bag. She then sees the corpse of her friend lying on the antennas, getting eaten by the vultures. All the time, the girl was on her own. Before the storms hit, the girl records a video message to her dad. Meanwhile, the man is looking for her. Next day, the girl plays dead and catches a vulture that she killed and ate. Then after getting back some strength, climbs down to the antennas. There she takes off the shoe from her friend's foot, asking her for forgiveness, then puts the shoe inside her wound before she pushes her over. James arrives at the tower when he sees the cops and meds everywhere. The man is scared when he sees them taking a corpse in a bag before suddenly hearing the voice of his daughter calling for him. The two halt each other while Becky tells her dad that she was sorry And with that, we reach the end of the movie. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Leave a like and subscribe. And see you next time. Bye bye.